Team, welcome back to another episode of Scratch22. Today I've got some short game tips from Caroline. This is an area of my game which I've been struggling with, but she's given me some really simple tips and I've already seen a big improvement in my game implementing these, so hope you can take something away from that. But before we get into that, last week I promised an announcement. I quit my job. Yesterday was my last day at my job because I wanted to give myself a few months to focus on the golf and making content. So I want to know what you want to see. In the first episode I outlined how I wanted to make the journey relatable, only training outside of 9 to 5. Do you want to see me start training full time? Maybe you want to see a daily vlog? Let me know in the comments down below. That's it from me. Let's head out to Cruise Hill and Caroline's picking up with some short game tips.
Okay, right. So, one thing you've got to remember is, and you want to try and take this on board, is we chip like we drive and we drive like we chip. So a chip is a mini version of a long shot. Nothing changes. All bar just the width of your stance, but nothing should really change in posture. Nothing should change in your grip. Now your grip has gone again slightly under, so we need to with your lower hand it's gone under and your thumb's a little bit there, so we need to just get that back again in the fingers, and I'll help. That's better there. Now that'll feel quite strange again. That's better. So when we set up to the ball on a chip, and I say this to a lot of people, you're 6'2". Why do you want to choke down on the club? Right. Okay, so if I were playing a short chip, I would stand here and I would hold the club as normal. Okay. And I would just basically work slightly different with my width of stance. I'd maybe open my stance a tad with my hips slightly open, and I'd move my ball position around subject to whether I wanted the ball to go a little bit higher or go a little bit lower. So a lot of people feel if they choke down on the club, they're going to have a bit more control. But really, are you really? To me, not really. You start to get a little bit sort of too much here. You start to get a little bit cramped going here. So stand as tall as you can. Get same posture. So I've got here a 7-iron. So say I just wanted to play a little running chip with a 7-iron. If I stood here now, set up as I would do if I were playing a little running chip, if I then decided, oh no, I'm going to play a full-on shot now, all I've got to do is that. Nothing's changed. Yeah, sure. Okay, so setting up with the same posture really does help because you're not having to really change anything. It's not like tennis. We don't have a forehand, a backhand, an overhead smash, a serve. We actually have the same movement through the whole swing. We just have mini versions and longer versions. That's it. Shot now. So you've got to remember, if you ever move the ball to the back of your stance, you are going to de-loft the club. So you have to take that straight away into consideration. So I've got a 7-iron now. I've most probably, just by moving it there, de-lofted that to maybe 4-iron. So, yeah, so it's going to run a lot lower and it's going to come off the club face a lot faster. So if I was on a nasty lie, I'd set up as normal, and I always stress that, set up as normal, so you know you've got a neutral setup. Then I would just move forwards to where I wanted that ball position. Now, from there, as I've moved forwards, the butt of club has always stayed next to the inside of that. Yeah. So, and then from there, if you move forwards, you can lean a little bit. You can lean a little bit on this side. Maybe if you want sort of 60-40, 70-30, subject to how you feel. So then from the fact of leaning forwards, just making that turn, the shaft is going to come up steeper. So as it comes up steeper, then you come down on it steeper. So then you'll meet the ball before you meet the turf. So it's all about getting the confidence to be able to strike through the ball without kind of holding back. One thing I worked on quite a bit when I was really grasping the concept of chipping was if I took the club back, I'd always get the feeling that the body had to drag the club through. So I always would get the feeling the club weighed a ton and the body would have to release through, and that really helped me. But I don't like to say what I did will work for you, but I'd always get the feeling that there, if somebody was holding that club there and I had to pull it, I'd really have to work my body to get that release through. Yeah.
That's it for this week's episode, team. We'll see you next week. Until then, take it easy.